7-6. Brandon Marshall, Randy Moss held without a catch. First time in about a year for both of them. We'll talk more about them as we get going. But spin ahead here to the second half. Where do you see New England getting more offense?
Well, they've got to keep doing what they're doing. They've got to sustain drives, take what they are given. New England has just got to play better in the second half. They have not been a second-half football team. However they get it done, they want to win on the road, and to do that, they got to play better football in the second half.
You know, when you look at Miami and Dan Henning, their offensive coordinator, he's got to get Brandon Marshall involved. He wasn't targeted. He hasn't caught a ball. I mean, he's a guy that brings great energy to your offense. When he's in the flow of the game, the guys feed off him. You've got to feature him in this second half.
It's an interesting game for both teams, with the Jets leading the division at 3-1. Both teams have a loss to the Jets, so essentially you lose tonight, and a quarter of the way through the season, you're a game and a half back within your own division. It'll be Brady and the Patriots to get the ball first. They had a 16 and a 13-play drive, both ending up in field goals, while Miami's two nice drives after their touchdown drives were ended by the first interceptions of Rob Ninkovich's career.
We saw this last week. When you get into these divisional rivalries, these two teams know each other. Oftentimes, they're going to be defensive struggles. Turnovers, special teams. Those are two areas that are going to decide this.
Dan Carpenter kicks to Brandon Tate from 4 yards deep. And Tate got a very nice block at the point, and it gives him room to get the sideline. And Tate, who took one back against Cincinnati to open the second half, has a 103-yard kickoff return to start the half. A touchdown. It was Sammy Morris with the big block that gave Tate the sideline.
Well, oftentimes that's what catapults you in games like this. Brandon Tate, the all-time NC2A return leader, bounces it to the outside, and watch this burst. That's twice for Brandon Tate. What an impact play on special teams.
John, right on cue. You'll see the block right there by Sammy Morris. That freed up Brandon Tate, but special teams, you said it, John, be the difference in the second half. You think it'd be that quick?
Extra point for Gostowski. That's the 8th kickoff return for a touchdown in the NFL already this year. We've had one in every week of the season. It took just 14 seconds, and you saw Morris there on the sideline who made the key block for Tate, who was great at North Carolina. He had a kickoff and a punt return in a same game for a touchdown when he was at UNC. Did that in 2006, one of 9 to do that. That's the guy I want to point out, Morris. 11 years in the league. Here he is making the key block on a kickoff return.
And that's what the New England Patriots do. They can beat you with all three phases. They've taken pride in this phase for years. And Brandon Tate was hurt his senior year at North Carolina, got hurt last year. All they've been telling us is they have some young guys with firepower that they're excited about. McCourty, the cornerback, Darius Butler. You just saw Tate. They like Hernandez, Gronkowski. They are loaded with young players. One of them just splashed onto the scene.
How about 2 kickoff returns in your first 4 games of the season for a touchdown? As mentioned, it was 24-3, a blowout first half for the Patriots in the opener against Cincinnati, and the opening kickoff in the third quarter was a 97-yard Tate return for a touchdown.
And I'm really anxious to see Chad Henne come out here in the second half. He's had some real adversity. Now they're behind. Let's see how he reacts.
And that's what separates quarterbacks in this league. You know, he took a body blow in that first half, a couple 4 interceptions. Now the return for the touchdown. The Dolphins find themselves behind. Can he rally the troops?
Nolan Carroll, he's going to take a knee, and we'll visit with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, guys, I spoke with Tony Sperano coming out of halftime, and he talked about Henne and his ability to bounce back after those 2 interceptions. He thinks he is the kind of guy that can respond very well. As for not being able to get the ball to Brandon Marshall, he said, look, they're doubling him right now, but we're going to try to find some ways to move him around and get him open. But he seemed very thankful that Bess was available to them and able to be so active. Also spoke with Bill Belichick about Randy Moss not getting the ball. He said, look, the Dolphins are a good team, and if they continue to take away Moss, well, we've got other guys to throw to. Mike?
Michelle, last time Moss went a half without a catch was last year against Denver, when Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator. And he is here now with Miami. Ronnie Brown gains about 2.
And Chad Henne in an uneven first half. Nice throw here to Devon Best for the touchdown. And in the first half, he goes 11 of 15. But the turnovers, the interceptions were ill-advised. Trying to squeeze the ball into tight windows. Ninkovich makes 2 outstanding plays. But Chad Henne's got to be much more careful with the football. See the throws. If they're not there, don't be afraid to throw it away.
Rolling and throwing, and a lot of Patriots over there. Almost intercepted. Devin McCourty had a hand on it. Rookie out of Rutgers. First-round pick. His twin brother Jason's in Tennessee.
And you got to really be careful here. Dan Henne moves the pocket, a little sprint out to the right. It's a 2-man route. They got a guy down the field. They got a guy underneath. They're both covered. Be very careful as these zone defenders read your eyes. That one could have easily been picked.
Devon Best has been the businessman on 3rd down. This time it's Marshall, his first catch. Good job dragging him across the field for Jonathan Woodhead, who's played the nickel here for the Dolphins. It's 3, or for the Pats, it's 3 and out for New England.
And that's what you have to do if you're the New England Patriots. Let him throw it underneath. Let him check it down and rally defensively. Get hats to the football. In that case, Brandon Marshall caught it short. But, boy, there were a lot of Patriots helmets waiting for him to punish him after the catch.
Brandon Fields kicks to Wes Welker. Good rush and a block. Blocked by Patrick Chung, and the Patriots take over at the 14. Special teams killing the Dolphins in this 3rd quarter.
Well, they had a punt block last week against the Jets. They had 2 punts blocked in the preseason, and to get a punt blocked again, there's a problem in your punt protection. Whether it's execution or communication, whatever it may be, but Patrick Chung, right up the middle, and he could have got that with either arm.
Yeah, that's right.
And Tom Brady's got a chance to really put Miami in deep trouble.
Last week's punt block was the first time Fields had had a punt blocked in his 4-year career. Now it happens twice in 8 days. From the red zone, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis with 2 to the 13, and suddenly with special teams, this game is flipped. The safety Chung busts through.
There's another young guy. Here's another one of your 2nd-round draft choices. But the Miami Dolphins have huge problems right now on special teams, particularly in punt protection. But to have 2 impact plays within 5 minutes, they have issues.
Scotty O'Brien, a special teams coach for the Patriots. Boy, a couple great performances by his teams.
Back to Green Ellis. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, touchdown New England. 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
What a story. Just a simple draw play. And Tom Brady sets up like he's going to pass. It's a slow developing draw play. Watch it. The linebackers, everybody's going to react to pass. And Tom Brady's going to hand the ball off. And Welker gets a great block in the slot. Actually, I don't think that was Welker. That was Gronkowski playing in the slot. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
And Matt Lightjohn does a great job setting the draw, uses the club technique, and just opens up a big scene for Ben Jarvis Green.
3rd straight bad snap. Great job by Mesko. What a spin of the game here. Some of the folks are just coming back from their halftime snack. And don't look up at the scoreboard. They get it ill to your stomach. Beautiful downtown Miami. Bumming right now. You know, you can break down a game, talk about quarterbacks and matching up and this and that. And special teams, big plays, flip games so often has allowed the Patriots to take a 20-7 lead here in Miami. Patrick Chung blocked the punt that led to the Green Ellis touchdown. And another big kickoff from Gostowski with no return. The Patriots defense will hop in their step. A 13-point lead. Special teams, the headline story of this 2nd half. Both teams have a bye next week. They're off next week. So whatever happens, you have to live with here for a couple of weeks. And let's see what Miami. Would you start opening things up right now with your Miami guys?
No. A lot of time, Mike.
Hang in there, huh?
Stay with the plan.
We need one drive. One drive.
Brandon Merriweather getting his ankle taped. Patrick Chung is the safety on this drive as Ricky Williams runs left for about 1.5 yards.
You know, you make a good point with both of these teams in a bye next week. Trust me, both these head coaches took advantage of that, used the extra day to prepare. And Bill Belichick, over the years, has done as good a job of that as anybody.
Here are the Dolphins going with their no huddle, trying to get the tempo change, get some life into this offense.
And Hartline catches on the far side with Brandon Marshall ahead of him trying to block. Be a yard shy of the first down. Kyle Arrington made the tackle. And you're right about energy. This stadium, which was electric and loud, is absolutely dead right now with the way the Patriots have flipped the switch.
Boy, they certainly have flipped the switch, you know, taking the kickoff back and then blocking a punt. I mean, they just turned it around. This crowd is just sitting on their hands right now. There's no energy. It's up to Chad Henne, this Dolphins offense, to reinvigorate this offense and this crowd.
Third and a yard. Ricky Williams busted up the middle for the first down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 for Ricky.
Dolphins do an excellent job in short yardage situations. Normally they go to their fullback, Lusaka Polite. That time a reverse pivot, just a plunge. Wedge block right up the middle, and Ricky's running hard tonight.
John, that's an old throwback play right there. Those split backs and a little cross buck, you know, right up the middle. And boy, Ricky finishes well. Those pads are down. He makes defenders pay.
Good numbers for Ricky so far here tonight. He had a shoelace untied, so Ronnie Brown comes in. He's kept shy of the 45-yard line. What do we see? 2 snaps of Wildcat here tonight, guys, and that's it?
That's it. Not successful. I think I just saw one. But the last 2 plays have been plunges, just wedge blocking plays right up the middle. Remember, New England's been playing Mike Wright on the nose, on the center instead of Vince Wilfork. And clearly Miami's taking advantage of that size advantage.
Well, they're attitude plays, John. You know, when you want to get those guys coming off the ball, those are the runs you call to get them after people.
2nd and 5. Henne throws, and it's almost intercepted again. Rod Mayo dropping back in coverage, and the linebackers are making things cloudy for the quarterback.
Yeah, Chad Henne's just a hair late with this throw, as you'll see him set up in the pocket. You know, it's Mayo, number 51. He drops the middle, but then he reads the quarterback's eyes. And that's what a quarterback has to do. When that linebacker's in the middle of the field, keep him there, stare him down. Once Henne moved his eyes left, Mayo moved left.
And he started 7 of 7, has struggled since. There he picks up a first down to Fasano. Takes it into Patriots territory at the 43. Anthony Fasano from Notre Dame, who was drafted when Parcells was the head coach in Dallas.
That's a good read there by Henne. Nothing real sophisticated from New England tonight. A lot of 4-man rushes, different kinds of zone coverages, and Henne's just got to see and make good high percentage decisions. Nice job by Fasano working underneath, splitting people after the catch.
Ricky Williams picked up the pressure. There it goes. Brandon Marshall. His first grab to the 23. A gain of 19.
Mike, you nailed it. There was pressure. You'll see it come from the left side of Chad Henne and Ricky Williams in perfect position right there to pick it up. Now his head's on a swivel. Looks at inside, then outside, and does a terrific job of picking up Jared Page on the blitz, giving Henne some time.
Ball start, 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Interesting week for Marshall. He was very productive, his most productive in his first 3 games with the Dolphins against the Jets, but was called out on a TV show for his perceived lack of effort at times during that game. Your read on that, Josh?
No, I don't think there was a lack of effort. He made a great effort before he ran the fade route, and I think a quarterback's got to be aware that a guy just ran 60 or 70 yards, and don't make him the primary receiver. Go somewhere else, someone that is fresh.
Pressure off the corner again. Ricky Williams has a ton of room. and blockers, and a touchdown.
That was an excellent call. Watch the offensive line slide to the left, and Ricky Williams is going to step up like he's blocking the edge and fool him and just look for the ball. Excellent call and excellent execution by the Miami Dolphins. One of those blitzers is responsible for that back. There's another busted coverage by the New England Patriots.
Dan Carpenter adds the extra point. Ricky Williams' 70th NFL touchdown, just his 8th as a receiver. Good response drive. Miami right back in it. He's been around so long on the football scene. Ricky Williams, forgotten by so many people. He had the problems with breaking the league substance policy, went to the CFL in 06, came back for one game in 07 on a Monday night, got injured in that game in Pittsburgh, tore his chest muscle. They thought kind of Ricky Williams was done. Came back to Miami, productive in 08, 1,000-yard season in 09. Great compliment with Ronnie Brown. Touchdown there, makes it a 6-point game. Tate took the last one back, 103. This one he brought back about 25 yards.
Well, Ricky's my kind of back. He's durable. You got to credit Bill Parcells with giving him a chance to get his career back in order. But this is a legitimate workhorse back. He can run it. He can catch it. He's the 30th player to get 9,000 yards in his career. He's gone over 100 yards 36 times. What he's done at the age of 32 years old doesn't happen very often. He's one of my favorite backs in football. I just love the way he runs the rock.
Tom Brady back with his empty formation.
From the 22, Wes Welker, Jaws. He gets about 5 to the 27-yard line. Just to finish the thought and the perspective on Ricky Williams, and to recognize his great years here with Miami earlier in his career. Only Larry Zonka has more career rushing yards than Ricky Williams in a Dolphin uniform. Then Ricky, then Ronnie.
He didn't do too bad at Texas either.
No. Setting the NCAA mark at that time for rushing yards. Danny Woodhead seeking space and getting the first down to the 33-yard line. We sat with Woodhead last night when we met with the Patriots, and what a great story, isn't he, guys?
What an engaging guy. You know, what a story. Comes in, played terrific last week, comes in with a few days, and he says he understood the whole offense in a couple days, played well. He's making some plays tonight, but diminutive guy, but tough as they come.
There he goes to the left for a couple of yards. He went to Chadron State, Division II. He won the Division II Heisman, the Harlan Hill Award. But what a great athlete. He was a point guard in high school. He led the state of Nebraska in scoring. He was the #2 soccer scorer. But we got to the real story. He's not a scratch golfer.
No, but hey, Mike,
he's a +2.
This guy represents hope for a lot of kids back home that want to play pro football. This guy's 5'7". He comes from a small college. He's 180 pounds, and he's starting for the New England Patriots. Keep lifting weights back home, kids.
Brady with a pocket throws over the middle for Welker. Incomplete near midfield.
And Cameron Wake once again bringing the heat. I mean, he just explodes off the football in that 4-point stance, taught to him by Jason Taylor, who made it famous here in Miami. And he just was right around the corner on that light. Explodes.
First down, Welker across midfield, the former Dolphin, who's much in that same mode of Woodhead as well. Guys who you'd walk past in an airport and say, he's not a football player.
That's great design. Great design. They get into the bunch formation and take a look at Welker work himself out of the stack. One guy goes there, one guy goes there, two guys break to the inside. Confusion but an excellent stack release out of the bunch.
Running Woodhead to the left, to the 41-yard line. You know, when he got cut by the Jets as they were doing their numbers game with the roster and the Patriots signed him, it was the week of the Jets game, and people thought that was just for reconnaissance, just try to get the guy in, find out about it. No, he came in, learned the playbook, and now here he is playing significant time.
Yeah, and right now Tom Brady senses, he needs to get a little up-tempo in his offense. They're now going no huddle, and Tom is the master at running this offense.
Nice cutback by Woodhead to the 35-yard line.
What I liked is talking to Tom Brady last night. He said after Woodhead scored the touchdown last week in Buffalo, he says, I don't even know what this guy's name is. I know his name is Wood. They're calling him Woody. He finds out his name is Woodhead. So they're just getting to know each other, but what an impression he's made on the Patriots.
Tom checking at the line, see something in the Dolphins defense.
One more time, Woodhead seeking space and getting about 4 yards. We mentioned that he went to the Division II school in Nebraska, Shadron State. Remember another guy from that school played in this division, the AFC East? Don Beebe, Buffalo Bills.
And he had some speed.
Same type of guy. Yeah. Great all-around athlete, as we were detailing earlier, and passed over by everyone and plays with that chip on his shoulder that a lot of the Patriots players do. Reminded of that. Welker again.
Right now, Benny Sapp is having a really tough time with Wes Welker. And once Tom Brady gets to zero in on Wes Welker, he's almost impossible to stop.
Wow.
You'll see it right here. You'll get the matchup. Benny Sapp on Welker. Once again, very quarterback-friendly receiver. Defines his route quickly. Brady knows right when to get rid of the football.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis back in at the running back. 4 to the 12. Talk about Welker. He comes back after the end of last year, week 17 against Houston. Without contact, injured his knee, took him out for the playoff game against Baltimore. Great recovery.
But look at the formations they're creating. They're not changing personnel. They're in and out of 1 and 2 and no back sets. And Tom Brady is orchestrating everything based on what he sees.
Brady will just avoid the big hit. And we have a penalty marker down as Cameron Wake was again putting on the pressure. Disruptor he is.
Boy, what else is new? He has been all over the field tonight. He looks a little bit tired right there, but you know what? He'll get back in that 4-point stance and zero in on number 12 again.
See what happened back there as he was rushing.
There's no foul on the play for holding.
Walt Coleman?
I always wonder why,
I was going to be really nice. I did want to point out that this is the first time since the Tuck Rule game that you, Walt Coleman, and Tom Brady were in the same place at the same time. Conversation with the umpire and no hold called there.
That's cold, man.
Why would you throw the flag and then say there's no hold?
I don't know.
I don't either. That's why I asked the question.
3rd and 5, Moss bottom of the screen. Underneath, Brady to Woodhead. Touchdown. His second in as many weeks. And I promise you, Brady knows his name now.
Let me tell you, Danny Woodhead has spent a lot of time working as a receiver and as a running back. And the New York Jets did not want to lose him, but he just ran a heck of a route in there.
Little option route, John. He got him on Carlos Dansby, and that's a matchup.
He went in there and gave him a jerk route. He started one way, went another, and Carlos Dansby, he's a pretty darn good linebacker. What a performance.
Danny Woodhead is a pretty darn good receiving back out of the backfield. And let's take a look if he did score. Woodhead going down. Maybe a tad short.
Yeah, very, very close. When he's down there, was that ball touching the line in terms of breaking the plane? No challenge from Miami. The extra point's good. And a big offensive third quarter. 27-14. Woodhead caps the drive with a touchdown. 20-point quarter for the Patriots to take a 13-point road lead here in Miami. Danny Woodhead, the star of that last drive, 25 yards rushing and the 11-yard touchdown grab. Now go cover a kick if you don't mind, will you please?
You know, the question in New England was, when Kevin Falk went out, who was going to pick up those third down receptions? Who was going to make the big plays out of the passing game from a back? Well, Danny Woodhead has answered the call right now.
Gostowski's fourth touchback in 5 kickoffs. He is pounding the ball this year. Miami scored in its last drive. They'll have to respond again to tighten this one up. You're on ESPN. Jets lead this division. They'll share the lead with the winner tonight. Patriots up 13. Henny's got Marshall. It's 2 in a row for Brandon with a flag down. He's down after a gain of 19.
Offensive PI.
Pass interference, number 19. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Take a look at it. Little coverage breakdown. I don't know about that, Jaws.
No, I agree with you. You know these DBs beat the heck out of a wide receiver all day, and you get jammed and you fight him off. And he's a big, strong guy. You throw him out of the way. Michael Irvin had a living doing that.
I don't like that.
Did he grab his shoulder pads, guys?
Yeah.
Get him out of his way.
How many times are his grabbing when he's trying to get off the line?
Roberto Wallace checks in, bottom of the screen. Another receiver here for Miami, 1st and 20. Marshall tackled by Mayo, gain of 4. Cordy tried to rip it out. If you look for Brandon Merriweather, whose presence on that defense has been spotty because he was taken out of the starting lineup a couple of games ago. He's played most of this game, but he's out now with an injury, knee injury.
And Brandon Marshall limping around a little bit after this play. Looks like he got his ankle twisted right there. Yep. Grimacing. Henny takes his offense into an empty look.
Marshall stays out there in the slot at the top. Henny goes back shoulder to Roberto Wallace. It's his first grab. He had 73 at San Diego State. Wasn't drafted.
Roberto Wallace is an interesting guy. He's 6'4". Bill Parcells told me they're really excited about him. That's a big catch and a difficult one at that. Back shoulder fade on the far side of the field, setting up a third down and convertible here inside of 5 yards. Big third down for Miami.
John, I had a chance to watch Wallace at practice on Saturday, and boy, he can go up and get the football. Big, tall guy, but he's got some ups.
Timeout taken by the Patriots defense. Here before this 3rd and 4, late third quarter. Only this stadium and Oakland host baseball and football on a regular basis. Marlins season ended yesterday, so the dirt infield was sodded. They were waiting to see if the weather was going to hold, and it was dry. It was, and that sod is in there. And will be more thoroughly sodded for next week. Doesn't look very pretty. It's not a great surface right now. 3rd and 4 to Bess, who caught it for another first down. 4th time tonight, Devon Bess has caught one on 3rd down to keep a drive alive.
Well, when Chad Henne needs a play, you look to number 15, Devon Bess. He just really gives a quarterback a window to throw the football into. As he comes out of that break, he works back toward the line of scrimmage. He doesn't drift upfield. Boy, that is excellent route running by Devon Bess. And it's a nice stick throw by Chad Henne. He needed that one.
Pretty impressive what he's done his couple of years in the league on 3rd down. And he steps up, finds Marshall, got a good block from Ronnie Brown to the 47-yard line. Another first down, gain of 15.
Well, that's a great job by Chad Henne in the pocket. Pressure was on, people all around him. He finds a way to get the ball to Brandon Marshall. Take a look at Henne, people in his face. Gets rid of the ball, and off goes Marshall. He picks up a block right there by Ronnie Brown. Nice play by the Dolphins. Look at the size of this guy. 6'5". I'd like to have that as a target.
His hands are an 18-inch radius. Wow.
And incomplete to his tight end, Fasano. It's another 11, another first down. This drive keeps going.
Henny's doing a real nice job, Michael, letting the defense expand and has someone on a shallow route. He's very patient. We're now taking what the defense is giving him, methodically moving the football down the field.
Brandon Marshall's out of the game right now.
Ronnie Brown facing Gerard Mayo. Took him to the sideline, gets to the 34-yard line. Remember, last year down here, New England was up 14, and Miami came back on him.
And I think with Brandon Marshall, he's finding out what it's like to play again in this heat. He talked about that. He's a 230-pound receiver. Every once in a while, you got to come out of the game, give yourself a little bit of a break. And clearly, Roberto, the big fellow Wallace, has stepped in and helped him a little bit tonight. But they need the big guy Marshall to deliver right here.
Brown had a couple of blockers, couldn't climb through that opening, gets to the 29. And Miami driving as we flip ends for the fourth quarter. A lot of stuff happened there. Sleepy first half, 4 touchdowns in the third quarter, 3 of them for the Pats. Importance of the game here tonight. Winners tied with the Jets, but both of their only defeat has happened at the hands of New York. Buffalo has been cleaned out by the division so far, so the winner tonight is not only a full game behind New York, you add the half game for the one head-to-head loss. And Miami, you get these two guys at home, New York, New England, to start the season. You can't lose both of those games.
No, you cannot, especially when you're going into a bye week. It's a bad taste in your mouth. And you got that long.
You're right, John. Brutal schedule as well ahead for the Dolphins. Driving to start the fourth quarter. Henny's hot. He's hit 11 of his last 12. That one was knocked down. The pressure from the rookie, Jermaine Cunningham, out of Florida.
Speaking of Florida, there are 3 rookie players from Florida right here with the Patriots. Jermaine Cunningham is one of them. Brandon Spikes playing a lot for him as an inside linebacker. And we've talked about their exciting young tight end, Aaron Hernandez. 3 Florida Gators in the same draft right here with the Patriots.
Guys who had terrific success with Urban Meyer. Second and 10. And he pressured, and it is the night of Rob Ninkovich's football life. 2 interceptions and a sack.
I don't understand the shift there. They came back into a 2-back set. They used play-action pass. They tried to get to a maximum protection, and you see Polite, the fullback, just whiff. They were assigned. They had the matchup they wanted. That's why they put Polite in that position. Ninkovich has had a heck of a game.
Yeah, and they had Brandon Marshall one-on-one on the outside, and that's where Chad Henne wanted to go, but pass protection first. That was just a miscue by the Dolphins.
Second career sack for Ninkovich. Brings you 3rd and long. Goes back, stayed into block. Henny's pass for Best is broken up by Kyle Arrington. The 35-yard line, a field goal try coming.
I'd like to see the Dolphins get something positive there. These field goals, these 52-yard field goals, not only are they difficult to make, but the penalty for missing this field goal, you're really setting up this Patriot offense in great field position.
Well, John, you wouldn't be in this position if you pick up the blitz, and that's critical. You've got to be aware of that, and that was the killer of this drive. You had the opportunity for a big play with Marshall singled up.
This would be a career-long for Carpenter. It is blocked. Again, Patrick Chung the block. It's alive for Kyle Arrington. A special teams fiesta for the Patriots.
That's the trifecta tonight for Scotty O'Brien and the New England Patriots on special teams.
Special teams making play after play after play. Not only creating blocks, but creating points. You'll see the inside. Chung once again unblocked right up the middle. No chance. They have found something wrong with the protection schemes of the Dolphins. They are coming in unblocked, blocking a punt and blocking a field goal.
Wow. The half started with a kickoff return for a touchdown. Patrick Chung, 2 block kicks in this game, and John Bonamigo's special teams having a very tough time. Patriots
going for 2.
Going for 2 here, leading by 19. $35-yard return of that 53-yard blocked field goal attempt. Julian Edelman, former quarterback in his college days at Kent State, in there next to Brady. Edelman jumps forward, and a flag comes down for the movement. Maybe that was the wrinkle they had in this play.
False start, 11, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now the Patriots are going to kick it. I don't think I've seen a game in the NFL like this, where you've had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a blocked punt, and a blocked field goal for scores.
I'm sure we'll be getting that statistic shortly. Our guys are back there in the truck grinding it out. We'll see if history is made here this evening.
You could see the disappointment with the coaches. They had a little wrinkle on that play with Edelman in there. They were unhappy when he came out. He added with the kick by Gostowski. 20-point Patriot lead. A special teams nightmare for the Dolphins. Patrick Chung, 2 blocks. This one led to a touchdown. Special teams have destroyed the Dolphins' hopes here tonight. And credit to the Patriots, what they've been able to do on that phase of the game as well. Brady's bunch up 20. And don't lose sight of this. This will be touchback number 5 by Stephen Gostowski at kickoffs tonight. The special teams for the Pats.
Well, Brandon Tate started it off, Mike. 95-yard kickoff return, and I don't think he got touched. And then it's just a simple twist right here off the right side, and you're going to see number 25, Patrick Chung, unblocked, uncontested, easy block. Sets up another Patriots score. And then Chung off the left side, uncontested, blocks a field goal, and the Patriots take it to the house. The Patriots can beat you a lot of different ways, and special teams is one of them.
And on that touchdown, Jared Page, the safety, backup safety, as Ricky Williams runs up the middle. See that little job he did? He got the hand, kind of blocked the ball forward. That allowed for the scoop and Kyle Arrington to take it all the way. John Bonamigo has been the special teams coach here last 3 years. And there'll be a lot of questions to answer for this group that had a punt blocked by the Jets last week. Pass to Ricky Williams. The yard shy of the first down here with a minute and a half gone by in the fourth.
And what the Dolphins must do, speed it up a little bit now, but you got to keep taking what the defense will give you. The first score is critical. You don't need to sling it 50 yards down the field. Work it down the field. Try to get 1 touchdown.
Chad Henne finding Brandon Marshall, who was kept out of the reception column in that first half.
This is where you need your best pass protection. The Patriots are content to play some form of a double zone and not give up any big plays.
They came with the blitz on that one, John. They brought Patrick Chung, who's been red hot tonight. They brought him off the corner with a blitz.
Ricky Williams took a hard hit.
Once again, the Patriots are rotating a lot of players, Mike. Darius Butler's back in here at right corner. Gerard Page is at strong safety. So they're making changes. They're keeping everybody involved on this Patriot football team.
Play killed by a false start.
False start, 67, offense, penalty, still second down.
Boy, Miami's been sloppy tonight, Ron.
Yeah, they really have been, John.
Offensive penalties, missed blocking assignments, poor special teams play.
2 interceptions.
And when you do that against a team like New England, they've proven over the years, they'll drill you.
Well, you don't want to give a Bill Belichick coach team too many opportunities. His teams don't normally make mistakes, and they are capitalizing big time on every mistake the Dolphins are making.
throw is complete to Brian Hartline. The Ohio State Buckeye takes it to the 44. Third down here. Miami's going to huddle.
Well, they need to get the best play they have. This is a critical third down conversion. So here comes Devon Best. It gives them a chance to bring their third down receiver back in the game.
I would try to find a way to get Devon Best more touches, period, not only on third down. He's been their playmaker this evening.
And they will run it here with Ronnie Brown and Mike Wright. And the bottom of the pile makes the stop here. It's 4th and a couple coming up.
That was an interesting call on 3rd and 5, 3rd and a long 4.
Well, they have to go for it here.
Well, I'd be afraid to send my special teams out at this point.
Good point.
You know? I mean, come on.
Well, Lasaka Polite has entered the game, number 36. He's hit 20 short yardage conversions in a row.
I don't know if they've been 4th and 2, though, John. I know they've been 23rd and 1. Yeah, you're right.
Timeout Patriots. I guess when the head coach is the defensive coordinator, he can burn a couple of timeouts for defense, right? Belichick stops it there. NFL, its players supporting October, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month across the league. You can learn more about the NFL's A Crucial Catch program, breast cancer awareness campaign. Visit NFL.com/pink. Fans, players, officials all wearing something pink here tonight through the month. 4th and 2. Miami goes for it. It's Ronnie Brown. Stopped to the open field. And over on downs.
There's McCourty, their rookie corner.
And my man Ninkovich was bringing the heat as well.
Well, the play's pretty simple. You play action fake. You're going to throw the ball quickly in the flat. The Patriots were ready for that play. Fire protection. You're not blocking that rush. Ball's got to come out.
I want you to watch the celebration after that stop on 4th down and note the fact there. This Patriots team's the only team that's had a winning record the prior year to come back here the next year in the first 3 games of the season and start 14 different guys who are either rookies or second-year players. A lot of them are on defense, guys like the rookie McCourty out of Rutgers. And this is a group that gave up all those points to Buffalo. And then you watch Buffalo against the Jets and you go, man, this Patriots defense must be bad. But there are growing steps. And, Ron, you make a point about Belichick defenses over the years.
And his vision is for the last quarter of the season, not the first quarter of the season. He likes tinkering, figuring out what he's got. Look at the young players, come up with different packages. He's thinking, what's he going to have when he goes into the playoffs? That's how forward of a thinker Bill Belichick is.
This might be a step in that direction tonight. Danny Woodhead lost 2 on the carry there. Tim Dobbins tackle.
Yeah, but Danny Woodhead, man, has he made some plays tonight. Take a look at this. He's in the backfield one-on-one against Carlos Dansby. You look up top, they're doubling Wes Welker. You look down here, they're doubling Randy Moss. Guess what? Danny Woodhead can beat your prized free agent acquisition, Carlos Dansby. They got a lot of weapons in New England.
Now this throws to another one of those weapons who was single covered on that play, Aaron Hernandez, the tight end, who gets the completion in front of Sean Smith.
You know, I went to Florida. I spoke at that clinic with Bill Belichick 2 years ago. I was doing all the clinic speech, and he was in the Gators office watching film, and he watched those Gators practice for 2 days. And he told me that had a lot to do with him drafting those players. I got to see him practice live. I saw him interact with their teammates. He drafted 3 Florida Gators that are all starting for him. Bill Belichick does his homework.
Yeah, and you're right, John. That doesn't happen with an NFL head coach. Actually see the guys practice, see them live. You can make a true evaluation.
There's a rookie for Miami, Koa Misi, who brings down Tom Brady. It'll be no gain.
But you see what Brady did there in that situation. 2 hands on the ball, protect it, go down. Just a smart football player, that guy. No turnovers tonight. We said it earlier, turnovers and special teams are going to have a lot to do with this football game, and boy, have you.
Sultan Mesko's kick. Fair caught by Devon Best at the 18-yard line. 20-point lead for the Patriots. You know, it's one of the themes here with New England. You have Brady, you have Moss, you have Welker, but you almost have a sense of the rebuild because of what we talked about when we came out of the break, all those young guys.
Yeah, but you're talking about rebuilding while Tom Brady's still there.
Yeah, that's exactly
talking
right.
about rebuilding without Brady and Welker and Moss. Bill Belichick's done a great job. This team is transformed. A couple years ago when Brady was a young guy, they had veterans on defense, and the defense carried the mail. But now it's a little bit different. The offense is getting it done, but I really credit the job Bill has done rebuilding this defense.
I think they're still in that transformation process, John. I don't think they're transformed yet, but they're certainly on the right path.
And he incomplete to Devon Bess. You know, there's a rebuild on the run, yet the perspective. Tom Brady came in last night and was talking about this and said, we were a bad team last year. Wait a minute. Do you know how many cities and how many NFL teams would like to have your bad season with a division win, a playoff loss to Baltimore? These guys have won 59 games the last 5 years. After the stretch, they won 3 Super Bowls in 4 seasons. So it's certainly perspective of a team that knows championships. And they did Devon Bess again to the 26-yard line.
But if you look at all 32 teams in the NFL right now, you'd have a hard time telling me who the best team in the league is. And I guarantee you one of them is New England because of that coach and that quarterback down there.
Well, it starts with that combination. You always have to have the guy under center, someone that has all the physical tools.
Be 100 wins, I believe, tonight.
It'll be 100 wins for Tom Brady. And, you know, it means a lot to Tom. You know, he does have that chip on his shoulder for being a 6th-round pick. He loves to win. He loves to compete. And to know he got his 100th win, that's quite an accomplishment. Props to Tom.
Ronnie Brown run here. Be right at the first down mark for Miami.
Dolphins seem very content to make first downs here as opposed to trying to get the ball in there for a touchdown. They need 3 scores in a hurry.
Well, the Patriots are saying thank you every time they run the ball or check it down for a 4-yard gain. Eventually, you're going to have to take some shots down the field there as this clock's ticking with under 8 minutes to go, and you're down by 20.
Those guys came all dressed like that.
My 2 friends.
Yeah. Best again. Yard shy of the first down. Mayo and Arrington making the test. 9 catches here for Best tonight.
And these are situations that you always hear Bill Belichick talking about. Situational football. 2-minute defense. I guarantee he's going to be evaluating his pass rush and their ability to get off the field.
Once again underneath, it's Fasano to the 47-yard line. And we've been in New England to watch the Patriots before Monday night games, and their practices are just full of different situations, preparing their guys for moments like this.
Yeah, Mike, you're absolutely right. It's pretty amazing. You know, we get the opportunity to look at a lot of teams practice and see what's going on. So we have an injured player in the field, but one thing about when you see Bill Belichick at his practice, they do not miss a detail. Every aspect of the game is covered.
Injured players, Anthony Fasano, the tight end. Timeout on the field. International travel is a wonderful thing. I saw Nick Faldo, who was the last Ryder Cup captain. He was for the European side. He's here tonight. Michael Ruzioni from the 1980 Miracle on Ice team here as well. A lot of big names and celebs here. Home team has disappointed. Down 20. And a 3rd interception. Patrick Chung, 2 block kicks and a pick 6. Sounds nice.
Patrick Chung is at a night to remember. Chad Henne was looking for Brandon Marshall on the crossing route. Marshall just stopped.
We'll take a look at it, Jaws. I think he's going to run a little jerk route.
Yep.
He's going to stop, and then he's going to jerk his body. But here's Marshall on the shallow cross. He stops, and then you can't do that to a quarterback.
Can't do that to a quarterback. Exactly right.
Once you commit yourself, you got to stay with your commitment. And Chung is an easy recipient right there. That's bad football right there by the Dolphins.
Well, they're just not on the same page. And when a quarterback and a receiver don't see the field with the same eyes, that's what you get. 6 going the other way.
Early 2nd-round pick, 34th overall in that 09 draft. Chung has His second interception of the year, his first for a touchdown. He had one against Tennessee last year. Against Buffalo last week, that one happened in the end zone. And this end zone this interception he took to the end zone.
Boy, Mark Sanchez has picked up his game. If he gets Santonio Holmes back, boy, he's got more explosive wide receivers to throw to. Mark Sanchez will start having some fun because we know they're running the ball with LaDainian Tomlinson very well.
Nolan Carroll actually going to get a chance to return a kickoff after 5 touchbacks tonight by Gostowski, and Woodhead was a touchdown run, has a tackle on special teams at the 32-yard line. You know, you kind of come to the game, you're thinking Brady and Moss and Welker, and the difference makers tonight have been Ninkovich, Woodhead, and Chung.
Danny Woodhead making plays on special teams. He's contributed in a lot of ways. He had a big block on Tate's touchdown as well. All over the field, the young fella.
And the Miami Dolphins have a lot to think about. Tyler Thigpen in there now at quarterback. This is when your head coach, Tony Sperano, he's watching the sidelines very carefully. He's going to watch the demeanor of these Dolphins and make sure they finish with as much as they have.
Tyler Thigpen in at quarterback. Picked him up by a trade from Kansas City last year. He almost throws an interception intended for Devon Bess. He was at Coastal Carolina when they started the football program down there and took them to a 30-8 record as they got that thing off the ground. And then he played a significant amount of time for the Chiefs in 2008. Started 11 games. They were 1-10. That was the bottom of where the Chiefs were before the turnaround here the last couple of years. The Thigpen traded here. Chad Pennington as the other quarterback. Some chances for Thigpen here tonight. And a shot down the seam, way too tall for Hartline.
Oh, you got to hit that one.
Well, you got to hit that one. This is what happens when you bring in a quarterback that hasn't taken a snap in a regular season game in a while. You know, when you had Brian Hartline wide open down the seam and he just airballed that one.
It's a setback for Chad Henne. Been playing well. 3 interceptions tonight. Clearly the last one not his fault. But he knows when you play a team like New England, turnovers doom you.
Well, there were mistakes in that first half, John. There were poor decisions.
Thigpen taking off here. He's going to get the first down at the 44-yard line. Gerard Mayo, who's been involved in 15 tackles tonight, helped make the stop there. Thigpen was a Dolphin last year, guys. He played in one game. It was at the very end of the season against the Steelers in a mop-up role. He was 4 of 8 in that game and threw a touchdown.
You know, Mike, you're always looking for that guy, you know, a skill set that projects in the NFL. He has a big arm. He does have some mobility. He just lacks that experience. He had some good performances with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That was a poor team, but he did open some eyes with what he was able to do. Fasano with a catch there to the 44. Back to Ricky Williams. Tackled by Chung for a gain of 4. Very tough stretch ahead, as we mentioned, for Miami after this week. They get the off week and then have 4 teams that are among the teams you would think were playoff teams before this season started. The Patriots are going to take their last time out on defense. So the defense takes them all. 4:50 to go. Out of timeouts, out of challenges. These teams have split their season series 5 of the last 6 years, so the Dolphins are going to have to try to earn the split up in Foxborough this year at the end of the season on January 2nd. Thigpen's pass too tall and incomplete for a frustrated Hartline. We talk about the stretch coming up after the bye. To Lambeau. Steelers in here. To Cincinnati. To Baltimore. Ouch.
Boy, Boy, that's a tough stretch right there. You can play good football and lose those games.
You know, every week in this league, let's be honest, it's a dogfight. Looking at the Carolina Panthers, they took the Saints to the brink yesterday. Detroit went into Lambeau, had the Packers on the brink.
49ers had the Falcons.
Don't make mistakes. Don't turn it over.
Don't beat yourself.
Don't beat yourself.
Out of the hands of Hartline. Is it caught clean by Page? Yes, interception and another turnover. The 4th of the night for the Dolphins.
These plays are tragedies. This ball hits Hartline right between the numbers. Hartline's been open. They've missed him. Here they hit him right between the numbers. He took his eye off it before he ran. Nice break by Page. Dolphins have been really poor here in the second half.
You're being kind. Because it hadn't been a good half whatsoever. And all phases of their game have contributed. Offense, defense, and special teams. Special teams the most.
So 4:36 left. Remember I was telling you that Thick Pen mopped up against Pittsburgh? That was his action for the Dolphins. You know, somebody else once mopped up for the Dolphins in a game against Pittsburgh. How about Ron Jaworski? Dan Marino and Ron Jaworski have thrown 421 touchdown passes for the Dolphins. Marino 420. Jaws won in the last game of his only season with the Dolphins. He threw a touchdown pass to Mark Clayton in Pittsburgh. Right?
Those stats seem right, though. They got those right. 420 to 1.
I was talking to Clayton. He remembered it. What a great throw it was.
He probably threw him a hitch and he ran 80 yards.
It was a bubble screen.
Do you know what Clayton said? Here are the guys who threw his touchdowns. All of them by Marino, a few by Favre. You guys were together up in Green Bay. And he said, one by Jaws and one by Scott Secules. Those are the Mark Clayton career touchdowns.
One touchdown. And they call you an alumni here?
I'm sorry this is a blowout that we had to get to this stuff, you know.
I bet you don't even get a parking spot.
No, heck no.
But Don Shula was your coach.
Yep.
You got to back up Marino there that one year.
And boy, what an unbelievable coach and human being Don Shula. Boy, there's a rock right there.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, the carry. Well, you add up all the bizarre things that have happened for the Patriots tonight, and you do have something you haven't seen in the 9 decades of the NFL, what the Patriots accomplished tonight. First team in league history to score a touchdown rushing, passing, a pick six, kickoff return, and return of a blocked field goal in the same game. There it is.
I told you there's history here somewhere about an hour ago, and more things happen.
The thing I like about this is Tom Brady is still at quarterback.
Yeah.
And people at home are saying, why is Tom Brady still playing quarterback?
I'm asking that question. You need to be at home.
I asked Tom Brady, I said, how many reps do you give Brian Hoyer, your backup quarterback, on the practice field? He says none. I don't give him any reps unless Coach Belichick makes me give him reps. Nobody is going to take any reps from me. I'm the quarterback, period. I believe that's the way Tom Brady wants it.
And Brian Hoyer's over there. Can I get on the field a bit?
Where'd Brady go to school?
Michigan.
Where'd Hoyer go to school?
Michigan.
The State. State.
Now this guy
they don't let Spartans get in there.
This guy loves enjoying victories. He loves to be out there with his teammates.
Hoyer's an undrafted guy, too. Brady was very, very high in praise of. Really likes what he's done this couple of years backing up as Green Ellis carries the back end of the game. Mentioned Brady and Belichick together. This will be win 100 as a head coach quarterback combo. Want perspective on that? Of course, they've got 3 Super Bowls to go with it. Only 2 combo with more. The 4 Super Bowls, Bradshaw and Knoll, they had 107 regular season wins. And the guys we were talking about earlier, Marino and Shula with 116. Getting to that Super Bowl in Danny's second year. Able to get the victory there.
Every great coach has one of these, a great quarterback, and vice versa. I really think it's a battery that you have to dominate.
Green Ellis will stay in bounds and get close to the first down, and we'll get to the 2-minute warning here in Miami. 5 touchdowns in the second half by the Patriots. Something they've only done before in 1961 and 1980. It's given Miami a long 13 days to ponder. I can tell you this. The Patriots were not in a very good mood before this game. They were pretty stirred up by this, and I can tell you that guy, Bill Belichick, was pushing the buttons of these guys as he addressed them here in the hours before kickoff, reminding them of, guys are down on you. They say that you guys are making too many mistakes. You're not going to get it. A lot of you guys in this room were passed up. He was appealing to that kind of chip on the shoulder mentality and creating some of that cohesion that a young team needs. And Mr. Belichick pushed the right buttons here tonight, and his team came up with a big effort in the extra areas to get a big road win. And a win where Randy Moss didn't catch a ball for the first time in his Patriots career.
It was all about the Miami Dolphins. That's all he talked about. They were 1-4 their last 5 road games. They wanted a road victory. But Bill Belichick rallied his football team, brought them to South Florida, and got a convincing win, and found a lot of new contributors. He knows Randy Moss is going to be there for him, but Patrick Chung's going to feel good about himself. And Ninkovich, he's going to gain confidence in himself, and so will his teammates. A lot of these young players grew up tonight.
But, John, they weren't playing well defensively coming into this game. They were giving up over 27 points a game. The Buffalo Bills put 30 on them last week. So, they were making mistakes. But I think to Bills' defense, they were correctable mistakes, and he got his guys playing as a unit more in harmony.
Brian Hoyer will get to come in as Tom Brady comes out. Look at that, huh?
That guy's something or what?
I think it doesn't mean anything. That's pretty interesting. That's a neat shot.
I thought he was mad that Bill took him out.
I think back to the Monday night game we did in New Orleans.
You don't see stuff like
when
that.
When the Saints cleaned these guys out, there was that shot of Brady and Belichick standing there trying to wonder what the heck's going on here. We're not used to this.
That guy's on a mission. I know that.
Yep. Contrast that with tonight.
I'd hate to be in his way, too.
It's a New England team that won only one true road game last year. One of their other credited road wins was the game in London against Tampa Bay. Dominate the Dolphins 41-14. They're off next week and get the Ravens in Foxborough, followed by a visit to San Diego. And then Minnesota comes to New England. So no easy stretch ahead for the Pats. But they're tied with the Jets for the lead in the AFC East at 3-1. Full recap coming up on SportsCenter next with the coverage with Stuart Scott, Matt Millen, and Steve Young from here in Miami. Big night for the special teams of the Patriots. They beat Miami 41-14 with John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya, our great Monday Night Football crew. Mike Tirico saying good night from Miami. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Vikings-Jets in a week.
See you next week in New York.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.